So, class, I introduce you to Mark Evans. How's that? So, he's the guy. Guess which one he is up there? So here's the deal. I'm going to say a couple things about you before we get started. So I always like to bring people in class who are explorers. And I don't mean just explorers of the inner journey, which is quite important and valuable, but explorers in an outer sense. And Mark Evans is an explorer in both ways. And you won't really hear, there are a lot of things you won't hear from him because he's also very humble and all of the many things that he has done. And an explorer in the outer sense, I mean exploring mountains and deserts and the Arctic and all sorts of stories. You must have just a ton of stories for us. The explorer, like the old sort of British explorer sort of idea, that's this guy. But most importantly, he's an explorer, he's a guy who's taken a journey. You have decided that you were going to live the life that was not expected of you and live a very different life. And I just want to talk about a little bit of that today. However, I just want to say one thing before you say a word. No, I'm serious about the explorer thing. This guy has led expeditions to the Arctic, through the desert, through all sorts of places, and some really, really cool places, and done some really cool things that I'm sure many of us would like to be doing, and some of us will be doing. But, so, now that I've monopolized all your time, what does that mean for you? Like, what is that? Who are you? Tell us about you. Who are you? How did this thing get started?
Right, well, I'm going to apologize first of all. Are there any English people in the audience? See, everyone's too embarrassed to admit to being English, but I'm English, so if you have difficulty with the accent, sorry for that. But who am I? I'm just a regular guy who grew up in the countryside in England, but I guess what made me slightly different was that I saw an opportunity and I made something happen. And do you have detention if you behave badly at school here in America? Do you get if you get into trouble? Do you get into detention?
None of these people here. These are all
maybe the people at the back.
Some of the folks in the back for sure.
So when I was at school, my detention hours outnumbered my house points quite significantly. But so I wasn't a very well-behaved student at school. But what I really enjoyed was rock climbing and kayaking and all these things. And I ended up going on a journey when I was 17 that really turned my life upside down. I went to the Arctic with 60 other people who I'd never met in my life, and I had to share a tent with 2 people for 6 weeks who I'd never met in my life.
Wait, you were 17?
I was 17.
You went to the Arctic?
Never been to London, let alone to the Arctic. And boy, did I grow up pretty quickly, actually. And what I learned was that there were lots of things I wasn't very good at, but I learned that there were some things that I was better than other people at, and that gave me the self-confidence to go ahead and try and make things happen. Because without that little bit of confidence, it's hard sometimes to take the next step.
So to say something about that first trip. What did you learn about yourself? I mean, going to the Arctic, so this is a while back. I mean, this is...
Yeah, this is before everybody in this room was born, probably. This was 1979, and so 6 weeks in the mountains where the sun never sets at all, so you get up at midnight and it's broad daylight. And you're doing scientific research on the mountains and on the glaciers. And so you've got to produce accurate data when it's freezing cold temperatures, and you've got people around you that you've never mixed with in your life, different backgrounds. Some of them were from incredibly wealthy, privileged backgrounds. I was not from that kind of background. So a huge educational experience that you'll never learn in a classroom. You might learn it here in one of Simon's lectures, but not in a regular classroom.
So, listen, here's the... People don't just get up and go to the Arctic. When I was young, something happened to me on my first trip that I took. And I got off the airplane and I said, my God, that was really easy. My first trip overseas. I said, that was really easy. And that was the start of an adventure for me. So it's easy. People can go to the Arctic.
They can.
Why? What opened that door for you?
What opened the door was when I look back. So if I sort of fast forward 30 years, what I do now is that I lead expeditions that take young people and give them the chance to experience what I experienced. And what I see when I'm choosing people to go, because the number of applicants is far in excess of the places, is that I believe that young people from rural areas in the countryside are going to cope better on a hard expedition than people from the city. And I just think that's because when you grow up in the rural area, that you're used to having to make things happen. There's nothing provided for you. There's no entertainment. Mm-hmm. And that was me when I was 16, 17 years old. I get off the bus at the end of school, and there was nothing for about 5 miles around my parents' house. So I would have to go into the woods or down the river and make my own entertainment.
But people from the city can do it. They just don't think of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course they can do it.
So what do you see when you see, and this is really important because this is what I'm trying to get across all the time about taking these adventures and, having conversation, meeting people from other parts of the world and engaging, which is something we're going to be doing later in class today. So when you see the magic happen with young people, when you take them on an adventure, people like most everybody in here, the magic. And by magic, I mean that moment when they crack open to see something in themselves and something in the world in a different way. What happens to them?
Well, it's a different magic with different people. And we over here is a guy called Pete Allison, and he's a professor here at Penn State. And I live in a country in the Middle East called Oman. Any Omanis in here? Well done, my friend. So that's my home in Oman, and I run something called the university. I'm a dean of a university, really, and it's the oldest university on earth, and it's called the University of the Desert, because people have been sitting around the fireplace in the desert for thousands of years. You don't need all this high-tech stuff to actually discuss and develop and agree upon things. So every winter, when the temperature drops in the Middle East and the desert is really nice and cool, I invite 18 extraordinary young people that want to do something to make a difference to apply. And the Sultan of Oman is one of the nicest guys in the world. He pays for everything, so it's an all-expenses trip. 5 days in the desert with 17 people you've never met from 17 different countries. And you are an ambassador for your country. And you're an ambassador of change, because we hope that if we choose the right people to come into the desert for 5 days, so no mobile phones, you can try and smuggle one in, but it won't work anyway because there's no signal. No toilets, no doors to hide behind. You sleep on the sand every night with the scorpions and the snakes. And you will learn lessons out there that you will never learn from a book. And you are sharing the journey with people from other cultures, completely different backgrounds to yourself. So we talk about extremism, what are the causes of extremism, but more importantly, what are the solutions to extremism, and what can you do as an individual to make your community and society a better place. This idea, am I okay just to waffle on?
Yeah, go ahead.
This idea started from a letter in a newspaper. In my country, in Britain, there's 2 leading newspapers, the Times and the Guardian. In that newspaper one day was a letter written by someone from Saudi Arabia. He was Saudi Arabia's ambassador in London. And he said, "Stop bashing my country. If you want Saudi Arabia to move forward and make progress, we want the same thing, but it has to be at a speed that is appropriate to my culture." And that was the ambassador. So I wrote him a letter and I said, "Your Excellency, I've just come back from living in Saudi Arabia, this country which everyone thinks is dreadful. But I had actually the most fantastic time of my life, and I met some of the most hospitable people you will ever meet. Walk down the street in London, no one even says hello to you because they don't know who you are. When you go to Saudi Arabia and to the desert, the hospitality of the people there is quite overwhelming." So I wrote to him and I said, "I had a great time in your country, this misunderstood Kingdom of Saudi Arabia," and he made the biggest mistake of his life then, because he replied to my letter and he invited me for coffee next time I was in London. And I took him up on it. I knocked on his front door. We had a discussion, and he said, what can we do to change people's perceptions of the Arab world and the Middle East? And I said, well, whatever we do, we ignore this stuff, technology, because what I envisage is getting young people together and bring them to the University of the Desert, the biggest and the oldest university in the world. Because in the desert, there are no doors to hide behind. There's no masks. You are who you are. And you have the incredible opportunity to learn and question other people. Hold a mirror up to yourself and ask yourself, if people were to look at you, what would they see? What do they think of your culture? Because you'll be spending 5 days in this desert, and there'll be a lot of pretty intense discussions about cultural misunderstanding. What role does the media play? Who chooses what you see on TV, on your screen at night? Who makes these decisions? And what we're trying to create is young people who are brave enough to take a step forward and say, time out, let's do things differently. And the world needs young people like that. And believe me, I meet 54 of them every year in the desert, because I think over 14 years, we now choose people who are absolutely incredible. And it's very easy to get a little bit negative about the world when you read what's on the front page of the newspapers. But I was a teacher for 21 years before I started running Outward Bound, hence the haircut after 21 years of teaching. But these 5 days in the desert are the most powerful thing I've ever seen in my life. 18 people who never met, 5 days later, you've got to pull them apart to get them on the plane to go home, because they've created friendships for life that will remain with them for the rest of their lives. So here's the offer tonight, folks. There are 3 places up for grabs. This winter, we have 3 journeys going into that desert. 18 people plus 3 camels, plus quite a few scorpions, plus no toilets. So we're looking for 3 representatives for USA, for Penn State, because we're partnering with Penn State, because this university has a global reputation that when I live in the Middle East, when I talk about Penn State, there's instant recognition of how good this place is. So if you feel that you're the kind of person that in your life wants to do something to make a difference, and if you feel that you're a great ambassador for your own culture and your country, then the man over there checking his phone, not listening, is the guy that you need to see, Dr. Peter Allison. Okay, and I know we've done about 7 or 8 different lectures in the last couple of days to different groups. I know his inbox is filling up pretty quickly.
So I have a question for you, and then I want to just talk about this one journey before we depart. If someone gets a ticket from New York to Muscat, the capital of Oman, how are they treated? What happens? Because everybody, when I go, I was saying to you the other day, when I travel to Qatar, let's say, and I have people telling me be safe, and if you ever went to Qatar, knowing that someone is saying be safe, it's laughable, right? So, in Qatar, you can put your cell phone on a park bench and come back a week later, and it's still going to be there. So, how are people going to be treated in Muscat?
Probably better than they've ever been treated in their lives. But I have to be careful, because here at Penn State for the last 3 days, I've been treated absolutely amazingly, especially those nice people at Happy Valley Brewing Company. They were really nice, and they got nicer as the night went on. But we have an Omani in the audience here, and I'm not saying this because he's here, but I've lived in Oman for 14 years of my life. And I can assure you they are the nicest people you could ever wish to meet. And it's not put on for the guest. It's genuine openness, pride in their own country, pride in their own culture. And that starts when you arrive at the airport. So it's just an immersion in loveliness. They are really nice people. I've never locked my door in 14 years. I drive an old Land Rover. No one would steal it anyway, but I don't bother locking it because it's just that very safe, very friendly environment. Oman has a foreign policy of non-interference in other countries' affairs. Wouldn't it be lovely if every country in the world was like that? Yeah. The Sultan of Oman he's just such a nice guy. He negotiated the release of the American hikers taken hostage in Iran about 3 years ago. He can pick up the phone and talk to the White House in Tehran in the same day. because everybody likes him. He's a diplomat. He's a peacemaker. And that's what we're looking for. That's what the world needs more of. So if you do make that decision to come, believe me, you will not regret it. You're coming to one of the safest, friendliest countries in the world. Trying to cross the high street here in State College is far more dangerous than going to Oman.
Okay, go to the next slide. I wanna just say something. We're gonna watch a short 2-minute video, and then I have a couple more questions for Mark. But the empty quarter, crossing the empty quarter. So tell us what this is a particular journey that Mark did recently. What is the empty quarter?
Well, the empty quarter is the biggest sand desert on Earth. The Sahara is bigger in area, but most of the Sahara desert is not sand. So the empty quarter of Arabia is the biggest sand desert on Earth. And in 1929, it hadn't been crossed. People had reached the North Pole, people had reached the South Pole, people were trying to get to the summit of Everest, but no one had crossed the empty quarter. So in 1930, the race was on to be the first Western person to cross the biggest sand desert on Earth. Outside of Antarctica, it was the biggest chunk of unexplored land that remained. And it was conquered eventually by an eccentric Englishman and an amazing Omani sheikh, Sheikh Salah bin Khalid from Salalah in Dhofar. It took them 57 days on camel to cross that desert. And no one's done it for 85 years, so that's the kind of challenge that I liked. So last year, myself and 2 Omanis, we set off from Salalah in southern Oman. If any of you have watched Captain Phillips, the movie, that's where the boat sets sail from. And from Salalah, we headed north towards Doha, the capital of Qatar. And 49 days later, we arrived in Doha, which was quite a fantastic achievement. I lost 7 kilos in 49 days and put it back on in 2. So,
At a brewery?
At a brewery.
Hey, let's watch this short video, because this is, anybody could have an experience like this. It's really not difficult once you start to have them. Yeah, that looks so intense. Can I say something to you all right? It's not money that keeps people from doing things like this. It's not money. I've been all over. I've had amazing adventures. It's not money. It's fear. And it's imagination. So, final question to you. What did you learn about yourself on that trip? Because that is an intense trip. What did you learn about yourself?
I'm going to give you a really disappointing answer now.
Yeah,
I've done so many expeditions like that I really didn't learn very much about myself at all. But I guess, do you know what? If there was one thing I learned, it was more in the preparations than it was in the journey itself. It's just the virtue of patience and hanging in there when it looks as if your expedition's not going to happen, but at the 11th hour, things come right. For example, how many of you would like to do a desert expedition like that? If I say we're off next week, how many of you would come with me? Great. Okay. If you're vegetarian and you've got your hand up, take it down now. Because I think in the first 12 days, we consumed 27 goats, 7 sheep, and 3 baby camels. And this was all hospitality offered by the local Bedouin people. They were just so generous. They wanted to be more generous than the previous village the night before. And it was a miracle we lost any weight at all. But as we approached the border with Saudi Arabia, we still did not have permission to cross. And we were in a very embarrassing situation. We'd only been going 12 days. Already there were 5,000 people on Facebook following the journey, about 120 million people following on the website, because BBC and Al Jazeera and CNN were following this. But all of a sudden, this little flashing marker on the map was not going to move anymore. And part of the reason for this journey was to celebrate long-standing friendships between Oman and Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia would still not give permission to cross the border. But at the 11th hour, because that's just the way things work in this part of the world, really, we got permission, and the permission was from the king himself. So we were in by royal command. And we crossed the border. There's nothing at the border. We were met by loads of guys with big machine guns mounted on the back of the trucks because we were crossing through the biggest drug smuggling area in Arabia. And so they were very anxious that we survived and we reached Doha in one piece. So if I learned anything, it's just really that actually it's so easy to give up, this word resilience.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a physical thing, far from it. It's more mental here. The hardest thing on this journey, for 49 days, we walked a marathon every day for 49 days, and we didn't take a day off. But the battle was not in your arms or your legs. The battle was in your head. And it's not far away now before a spaceship goes to Mars, and a human being's probably going to be on that spaceship. So how are they going to cope with extended periods of isolation when all you have to motivate you is yourself? So we were doing some research for NASA on how you cope, how the human mind works in an extreme remote environment. And I haven't seen the results yet. I'm a bit too frightened to look, but we'll see. So what I learned was really just the value of hanging in there, being patient, because eventually, if you keep chipping away, things work out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yo, very cool. Final question. If you can narrow it into a single sentence, this would be nice. When you're looking for people to go on expeditions with, whether they're adults or young people, what's that one single thing that you're always looking for? And when you find it, you know it.
That's easy. What I'm looking for is humility. People who have a sense of place for themselves. Very easy to see people who over-exaggerate their experience and qualifications. What I'm looking for is people who build themselves from the bottom up, not from the top down. So I'm looking for real depth and humility.
Depth and humility. Very good. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I will post the information on our announcements page about applying for the trip. All right, Pete, you can send that to me, and I'll. Yeah. It's on Twitter right now with the Social19 hashtag. Good. Cool. Hey, thanks for coming. Absolutely. Yeah. Once again, really appreciate it.
See, you must get something.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. One of the reasons that we've kind of started off on, thanks Pete as well. All right. One of the reasons that we've started off talking quite a bit about the Middle East, and we're going to continue today, is, and then we'll move on. This will probably be the last class. Because it's the one area of the world where people there's just so much fear. When I talk to people about what's happening and about what's going on there and the engagement, there is so much fear. So I want to walk us through something. And I want to have an engagement. And I need 3 volunteers females, 3 women. And it can be, hang on. Have you volunteered yet? Okay, how about you? And do you want to go? And I need some, hang on. Yeah, hang on. So you can come up. Wait, who was it? Here? And who else? Here? And how about you? You asked the one question to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Why don't you come too? Yeah, that'll be good. Next time, bro. Here. And here, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to have you sit. Okay, you can all sit right there. Okay. What's your name?
Anushka.
Anushka? Where are you from? Where's your family from? Where are you from and where's your family from?
I mean, I'm originally from India, but I live in Qatar.
You live where?
I live in Doha, Qatar.
In Qatar? Okay. You know what? You're not going to work. No. I need how about a woman of color would be nicer, would be better. So how about, yeah, okay, you. I'm going to tell you what, Anushka, I'm going to tell you, you'll see why in a hot minute. Okay, what's your name?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, where are you from?
I'm from Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
Phillipsburg? What religion are you?
Christian.
Christian? Okay.
I'm Lucia.
What is it?
Lucia.
Lucia. You were up here before, right?
Oh yeah, for the
And
class.
and where are you from?
Here, Central PA.
Central PA
Yeah.
also?
Mm-hmm.
But not Phillipsburg?
No.
Yeah.
State College.
And what's your religion?
I was raised Catholic, but don't really follow anything.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm Stacy.
What's your name?
Stacy.
Stacy, where are you from?
I'm from outside of Philly, Montgomery County.
Montgomery County. And are you Christian?
No, I'm Jewish.
You're Jewish? Okay, cool.
I'm Jordan. I'm from DC, and I'm spiritual.
Spiritual. What does that mean, Jordan?
That means like I pray. I believe that there is a God, but I don't follow like.
Wait,
any
talk right
religion.
into the mic.
That means I pray. I believe that there is a God, but I don't follow any religion.
So for the Christians, that means she's a heathen, right? Is that what that translates into? Right? Okay, so you pray, but you don't follow any religion. There's some kind of God out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So do you ever see women wearing hijabs? Women, right? What do you think about that?
That they follow their religion very heavily, and they respect where they come from, and they respect their traditions.
Yeah, what else? What else? Somebody else. What do you think about when you see women wearing hijabs?
I think that they're very religious. I respect them for, kind of showing everybody that they believe in what they believe in, and they kind of don't really worry about what anyone else has to think. Like, I really respect that.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Yeah.
I'm kind of used to it. Like I work in a coffee shop. Like
Talk
people
right into
from-
the mic.
I'm kind of used to seeing people with different headscarves. Just in general, I work in a coffee shop. People from all over come in. It's cool.
So what do you think, though? Like, not to you, so what do you think? What goes through your mind?
Not really anything. I kind of think like, are they like really hot when it's summertime? But like, I don't really think anything.
Uh-huh, so you wonder if it gets hot in the summertime.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It actually reminds me a lot of like Orthodox women in Judaism who also cover their hair.
Uh-huh.
So I think of it a lot in the same way of personal choice and showing modesty towards yourself and kind of like representing yourself the way that you see best.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Have you been to Israel, by the way?
Yeah, I lived there this summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. So you've experienced many women in hijabs. So here's what we have. So we have some women in class in hijabs, right? So can you all, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to dig right in. And we're going to dig right in because here's the thing. Increasingly, I'm seeing more and more and more women with hijabs. And I'm seeing more and more women who are not Muslim, who do not cover, who have opinions about many more people who have opinions about people who are wearing hijabs. And I hear people having all these ideas about what goes on with women who are wearing hijabs and who are covering. And then I wonder, wow, have you ever actually had a conversation? And so we're going to have a conversation, and you all are going to have the conversation, and I just want to see what happens. And I think that it would be really nice for women in the class who are covered to have an opportunity to talk about being covered and what it means as a way to cross over these boundaries of culture. So who's going to volunteer? You're going to volunteer, right? Who else? Are you going to volunteer? Do you want to volunteer? You want to come up? Who else? You going to come? And then wait, don't we have a woman? Who's our classmate from Africa or from Philly? Yeah, there you are. You're not from your parents are from Africa, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, we're going to need 2 more chairs. 3. I don't think there are any in back either. Maybe there are. Okay. 1. You have a seat. Hang on. We're going to get 2 more chairs. Okay. Here you go. Why don't you can sit down here. Wait, no, hang on. We're going to get 1 more chair. Well, actually, you're all right. No, you're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We're sharing. Women, here's the start of a stereotype. Women wearing hijabs share chairs. Like to sit close together. All right? Here, can you give me a... All right. So let's introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
That's my name.
Yeah, where are you from?
Okay,
Your name?
so, hi, my name is Naras. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Saudi Arabia.
It's Tara? Sarah.
It's the same as Sarah,
Ye-
but we
Yeah.
pronounce it as Sarah.
No, hang on. Say that to the mic so they can hear you.
It's the same as Sarah, but we pronounce it as Sarah.
And your name again?
My name is Naras.
Naras.
It means seagull in Arabic, so like, Naras. Okay.
What's it mean?
Wait, it means seagull.
Seagull?
Yeah.
The bird.
Yeah, the bird.
Right.
Like you say it in Arabic as Nauras, but it's easier for you guys to say Naras.
Naras. Okay, Nawas. Okay.
My name is Reem, and I am from Saudi Arabia.
You're also from, a lot of Saudis in here. All right.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Also, Fatima. Hey, can you say what Fatima means?
Fatima, but here you can call me Fatima. Yeah, they always call me like that.
Hi, I'm Salima too, and I'm from Philadelphia, and my parents are from West Africa.
Philadelphia is like a foreign country, you know. To Saudis it is, certainly, that's for sure. Hey, so here's what I want from you all, right? Ask them some questions. Go ahead.
Wearing a hijab, are there any times that you would like to take it off, or if you want to keep it on? Like, what makes you want to keep it on and, like, you know, kind of parade your religion and be proud of it? And then, like, what are some other times?
Well, hang on.
where-
Let's stop right there. First one was a good question. What makes you want to keep it on?
For me personally, I wear it for God, first of all, and then second of all, I wear it for myself because it's like a reminder for me. So since I'm wearing it, I watch what I say and what I do. So for me personally, that's what it is.
For me, hijab is defining me as a female Muslim, and is one of my, like a God teaching for us female Muslims. So I'm proud for wearing hijab, and I don't see any like wrong wearing hijab. So yeah.
Yeah, just one more response.
Okay, it's in my faith, so I kind of believe in wearing a hijab. Not all of my family members and friends wear hijab, and that's also fine as well because they're still like family and friends. So it doesn't define me, like I define me, but like it's something I believe in, so that's why I wear it.
Okay, another question. And you could even go further on any of these questions, okay? But go ahead.
I definitely hear when I do discuss hijab, it's normally with other white women, a lot about, oh, it's really sexist, it's like this and that, it's demeaning or degrading. Like how do you actually see it? Because I've never had someone who actually wears a hijab like tell me what it means for them and like how they see it culturally.
So the question is, to be clear, so you've heard that people say, hey, the hijab is really sexist and degrading to women.
Only from white women though. So like how do you like I've never heard it from someone who actually wears a hijab and is not Muslim.
Western women or
Muslim,
white
yeah.
women. Okay, go ahead.
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, so she's heard from Western women, that wearing the hijab is sexist and degrading to women. So when you wear the hijab, you're being victimized by sexism and you're being degraded.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, I'm not saying that.
No,
I
you're not.
believe
That's what
that,
you've heard.
but that's what
Yeah.
I've heard.
No,
yeah.
this is actually what she believes
Yeah.
right here. that you are degrading yourselves by wearing the hijab. Okay.
Well, as I said, that's one of the like God teaching, not a human that's required, like ask us to wear it. So like there is the reasons, and I don't like I'm not fully aware of it, but yeah, we have our reasons, and no, we can't. We are not like feeling that we are. It's not a sexist thing. Yeah.
Can you go? Yeah, can you go further? Can somebody else take that a little further?
Like if it's degrading to wear hijab, that's like the stereotype. I mean, there's a bunch of stereotypes about people wearing hijab if they're like very religious or like they don't want to talk to like men or like they have this specific image about them. It's not necessarily true from my perspective. Again, this is my opinion. I think that it depends on the individual and like the individual chooses like.
Well, hang on. Talk about you. Just talk about
me?
you. Yep.
Okay. What do you want to know about me?
No, just you. No. Just say you choose. What about you? So you don't experience that as sexist because.
No, I never had an issue. My hijab never stopped me from doing anything. I went to conferences all over the world, and I've made friends like in Singapore, friends in UK, and it's normal. So for me specifically, I've never had an issue of like, or have been in a situation where it's been degraded or something like that.
Also, like there is like specific rules for women. Also, there is for men. They have to cover specific parts of their bodies. It's not just women, but so we have different types of bodies. So we cover different sections.
Mm-hmm. So I want to. Can we stick with this? Did you get an answer to your question?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you did. Right. I'm not sure that I got an answer to your question. Okay, here, I'm going to say this differently. All right? Well, we'll come back to it. Another question.
So I read, or I didn't read, in like presentations in classes, we were talking about a hijab, and there are two women from Malaysia who wore hijabs, and they were talking about this kind of story or advertisement that showed women who did not wear a hijab as like a lollipop that bad things would stick to, and women that wore a hijab as a nice, clean, new lollipop. It was a very strange analogy to try and say that the advertisement that was like popular in Malaysia was showing that women that did not wear the hijab were like getting all of the influence of the world and having them stick to them. I just wanted to know your opinion of that, because I found it a little strange, because it's all about personal choice.
We like see these pictures a lot from like.
It's a common analogy.
Yeah, and we find it silly. Yeah. What is it?
And a lot of people like make fun of
What's
it.
silly about it?
Yeah, because we are not a candy, so you compare us with a candy, like, what? Like some men in our, not in our countries, like, some extremism men that they like force women to wear hijab, and they like show us these pictures, so we can't believe them. No, we're not agree with these pictures.
Do you have a response to that?
You said something about influences and how these influences stick to that lollipop, but like these influences can affect like even hijabi women as well, so it's kind of ridiculous.
I always found it ridiculous when they would talk about and show these advertisements. I'm like, what is this?
So somebody else.
Okay, so how do you guys feel when you don't wear a hijab? Like, do you feel like you
Hold the mic close.
How do you feel when you don't wear a hijab? Like, do it feel like you guys like committed a sin, or do you feel like heathens, or if you don't wear it, you just don't wear it?
Heathens like her.
I'm not a heathen.
I don't feel like I'm committing a sin, but I kind of feel, I don't want to say naked, but kind of just like, oh my God, I need to grab my hijab. That's kind of how I feel. And like, I live on campus, so I have to like walk to the bathrooms. And sometimes like, I'm just chilling in my room and I don't have it on. And I forget to put it on. I'm like, oh crap. And I like, go ahead and run and put it back on.
Do you have a follow-up question?
But why run? Like, why not? Like, I mean, I don't know.
I guess it's just because we're so used to wearing it, it's become a part of us. So like when we don't have it, it just seems a little, well, for me personally, it just seems strange. Like, oh my God, I haven't been wearing this for like then you say since you were 9, you've been wearing yours. I started wearing mine freshman year, and I've been wearing it for 2 years now, 2.5 years. So I haven't been wearing it that long, but now I'm just so used to it that when I don't have it on, I just feel strange.
So do you wear it in the house when you're in the like your room when you're by
No,
yourself?
we don't wear it in the house. We only wear it outside.
Hang on, I'm going to ask some questions that I know people are going to ask, right? So I'm going to ask a bunch. So wearing it in the house? No.
No, we don't wear it in the house.
How about if you're in your room and there are men around
That's when
who
you
are not
put
family?
it on, yeah.
Oh, but what if you have company of the same sex? Like, say,
Then
like,
if
I
it's all
came
girls,
over
yeah,
and-
then you don't have to wear it. It's only in front of men who aren't like a part of your family that you should wear it.
Which part of the family? Uncles, cousins? Can someone respond? What kind of male do I have to be in your life that you would not wear your hijab around me?
My husband, my father, my uncle, my brother. And that's it.
And then little kids
Yeah,
as well.
the little kids.
And how about grandfather
Yeah.
and grandfather? If they're a close relative. Hold it.
You cover from anyone you can get married to, but after you get married.
But cousins, like you're
cover
Arabs,
from-
right? You guys have a million cousins. I mean, like the whole house of Saud are like your cousins. So like, where do you stop?
We wear hijab.
Yeah.
wear
Okay.
hijab.
So cousins, your hijab. Go ahead.
Okay, so what do you do when you go swimming? Like, how do you? How does it stay? How does your hijab? Like, do you wear a hijab when you go swimming, or like,
Yes.
how do you dress when you go swimming?
We have like specific, like.
You have what? Hold the
It's
mic close.
called burkini.
A burkini. Bro, Jeff, you can pull up, when you get a chance, can you pull up a burkini? Burkini.
So it's like a-
B-U-R-K-I-N-I.
It's a
Like
swimsuit,
bikini
but just the
burqa.
material, like, so it's covered everywhere. Just the material is like a swimsuit,
Yeah.
basically.
So do you guys ever get hot? Like, at all? Like, it was warm today. Like, it was really hot today. And I was just wondering, like, do you guys get hot?
I mean, we are wearing a lot of clothes, so yes, we get hot.
Wait, hang on. There's a burkini, by the way. Yeah.
I just wanted to say something about the like swimming thing. So we have indoor swimming pools where like just girls chill out. So we like wear normal like swimming wear clothes. So that's a point.
Wait, do you actually wear bikinis?
Like yeah.
Yeah, like the
If
whole
it's-
thing. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the person.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
But so if you're swimming with just
But like
women.
there are like in Saudi like indoor swimming pools for only women. So
Yep.
and in other countries as
Where
well.
you
Arab
where
countries.
women would go and they would actually be in bikinis, just like Western women would be out in the world. Do you have any other questions?
I just have a question about like, how does it make you feel when people like have these misconceptions and they try to like preach their misconceptions onto you? Like, does that make you angry? Because I feel like it would make me angry.
Like you're oppressed. Clearly you're oppressed because nobody would choose to cover their head. Like, come on, let me see your hair. Like, come on, please. So clearly you're oppressed, right? That's what you're talking about.
Kind of, or just like that, it's like a sexist thing.
Yeah, it's a sexist thing. Like, so she's asking, how's it feel when people think you're oppressed because you're wearing hijabs?
Actually, I have never faced this situation. So
You've never faced that?
Nope.
You don't even
Never.
know that Western women look at you and think you're oppressed?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, dude. All right. Oh, so you don't wait.
No,
So you don't shake. Okay, we're good.
Air high five.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, hang on. No, we're gonna learn this right here. So when I'm in the Middle East, so you ready? When I'm in the Middle East, when I encounter lots of women, many women, the first thing I do is walk up to them like this to see, and if they put their hand out, that means they shake hands. If they don't put their hand out, then that. So here's the lesson. You ready? So, I go like this, and that means so then a woman will say, because I'm a strange man in more ways than one. So a woman will say, No, if she just puts her hand there, that means she doesn't shake hands. But if she does shake hands with men, then she'll put her hand out, right? So do any of you shake hands with men? Are we good? You do. So I would come down the line, and you would all put your hands here, but you would put your hand out, and then we would shake. Got it? It's actually really simple, and you learn it very easily. And I've even been with women who are in nikbas. Nikbas is where you have your full face is covered, right? Who I will assume are not going to, I will assume are not going to shake my hand, and I will go up to them like this, and they'll put their hand out. So you can imagine with a full face covering, they're not going to ever shake my hand, but that's not the case always, right? Do you have any other questions?
Why don't you guys shake? Well, not you, but why do you four don't shake hands? I think that's like really weird. Like it's like a really weird thing.
Because it's haram, so we can't.
Can you explain that?
It is something related to our religion, so we can't.
Wait, what does haram mean?
Forbidden. Yeah, forbidden.
Forbidden. You got that? Haram, forbidden.
Well, we have women that shake hands. Yeah, it depends on your beliefs, actually. What do you think about your religion and, yeah.
So would you guys shake my hand? Or you wouldn't shake his hand because he's weird?
All men are foreign men.
Just men?
Yeah.
No offense, Sam. No offense.
No, I'm cool with it.
But
I'm
like
used
in
to
weird
it.
situations, like when someone would understand and they'd put their hand out and it's like a quick gesture, I'd like fist bump them and walk away.
Yeah.
I can fist bump you and walk away.
But I knew as soon as I went up to you like this, I knew you were either going to give me a high five or you were not going to. And I knew that ahead of time. So, wait, hang on.
I've been in situations that like people hug me and I don't know what to do.
Oh, they hug you, yeah. I've done that a couple of times.
I just accept it.
No, I did that to a friend's wife. And I did that to my friend's wife one time. She made this amazing dinner. It was, oh my God. And I just spontaneously gave her this big hug, and she just melted. Okay. So I actually have a question. And I want to hey, where's my friend Alex? Wait, hang on. Who we met earlier? Is it Alex? Was that it? Who we met earlier today in the group? I said I was going to bring you down? Yeah, okay. Can you come down? Did I get your name right? Alexa. Same thing. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Alexa. Now, I brought Alexa down, but class, this is Alexa. I can shake your hand. Okay, so listen, I have a question for you all. So I'm noticing that your arms are all covered, okay? And your head's covered. And then I'm looking here, and you are dressed, we would consider modestly. Yeah, I'm calling, am I calling you a hoe? Nah, man, but they might be, you know what I mean? I'm good with it. Listen, I have something very funny to say, but I'm not going to say it. All right. So my question is, hang on. Your name and where you're from.
I'm Alexa Turkovic. I'm from Pittsburgh, but
she's Croatian, though,
yeah,
by the way.
I'm
White
Croatian,
people, right?
yeah.
If you know Croatian, I saw a picture of her father. She's so Croatian. I have a question for you. When you see them, look at Alexa here, right? Look at Jordan and look at Aaliyah. Alexa, Jordan, they have, and Lucia. The four of them have more skin, every one of them has more skin showing than all five of you put together. How do you look at them?
I personally really like your pants.
Thank you.
That's what I noticed. I feel like it's your prerogative. You wear what you want. I'm not judging you at all. So.
Yeah.
It's not weird or anything because indoors, like, we wear things like that.
Yeah.
No, say that. Talk right into the mic.
It's not weird. And indoors and between females, we wear things like that.
So between females, you would dress like that?
Yeah.
Just not outdoors?
Yes.
But when you see them, come on, look at Alexa here. When you see her, right? Do you have any? Because Western women look at you and they have certain ideas. So you must have certain ideas about them, Don't be politically correct. What do you think about them? I mean, it's haram, first off. Am I right? For you it is, not for them. Yep. Okay. So it's haram for you. It's forbidden for you, but it's not for them. Do you have a response? Yeah.
I don't, but if you want me to, I said I have members in my family, and my close friends don't wear hijab, so it's kind of not new. It's fine.
But but they don't show that much skin. Are you guys comfortable with me pointing out that you have a lot of skin? I mean, here's this.
It's kind of too late now.
Oh, yeah. It's too late now? All right, well, I mean, it's not like it's not noticeable, right? Okay, go ahead. So you have,
Yeah, so it's like, wear what you want to wear. They're rocking it, so why not?
so for you, it's cool. So like in the Middle East,
For me, it's cool, but not necessarily for other women, you know?
well, like in Saudi, they couldn't dress like that in Saudi. So she would have to dress, Western women would have to cover their arms,
Yeah.
and she'd have to put a scarf on her head, right, in Saudi?
Yes.
That'd be pretty fun.
You'd be all right. Am I right?
Yeah.
So she would have to cover her arms. I know, this is my wife. Like, we've been we almost went to Saudi a couple times, and she's like, I just don't know that I can wear a scarf everywhere and long sleeves. I don't know that I
It's a
can do that.
policy, I think, yeah.
What's that?
A policy, like from the country.
It's a policy from the
Yeah.
government. Hmm.
Especially Saudi Arabia. I don't like in other Khaliji countries. They're like fine with it, but not in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so can we just talk for a second about modesty for you all, right? Modesty. Can you just say what that means for you? Like a modesty. Like in the West, we have this idea, you all have this idea that we can just really put ourselves out there. And in Muslim cultures, right, among women in particular who are covering, there's like this sense of modesty. Like you save your skin. Can I just say, I'm just going to point this way, because now I'm just going to say a couple things and have you elaborate. The idea here is that, look, your body at some level is a temple. Your body at some level is really about you and it's for you. And there's something about withholding other people's gaze and other people's vision for people that are really, really close to you, like your husband, your father, your et cetera. Your father's not going to be gazing at, but you certain your husband. And so there's this way in which, I want to keep this kind of covered up because this is a really special temple. And in the West, we don't have that. In the West, you can we have a very different picture. You can really open up. Mm-hmm. Yep, go ahead.
My aunt is actually from Syria, and her family came over because they were Christians, and there were some issues with in their village, so they had to come to the U.S. But I wanted to know how much of being covered up and the way that you go about your lives and your expectations with women and how they should interact with men, how much of that is like a societal kind of expectation and how much of that is like a religious expectation?
Okay. And really, origin we require just to wear hijab, but in our society in Saudi Arabia, in some cases you should wear niqab so you can fit in the society. Yeah, you be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to wear niqab in some places in my country, but here I just wear hijab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything can prevent you from doing what you want. You can do whatever you want. Even wearing hijab, you can do whatever you want. Also about modesty, I don't think it comes from what you wear, and I think it comes from inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who show all their skin, some of them are more modest than people who cover all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there was go ahead.
Quickly adding to that, I totally agree. It's about, like I said, what I wear, my hijab doesn't define me. I define me. It's like what I like, what I do, my personality, and all that. So it doesn't really matter if someone walks in a bikini and someone's wearing abaya. Like maybe the girl walking in the bikini is much more respectful and than the girl judging everybody in abaya.
So
Examples.
So here's an interesting thing. So a number of years ago, the Saudi government made this decree that women were being too seductive with their eyes. And so the government, you were all really young at this time, so I think it was like 6 years ago. And so the government put this decree out that said women have to stop being so seductive with their eyes, right? Because even when you're wearing the niqab, so maybe you only have a space right here, but wow, man, I'm telling you, when you are in, I'm just going to speak as me. When you are walking, that you were just saying, like I'm walking down the street in a Muslim culture, right? You don't need skin. Skin is like, this is how we define like sexuality with our skin, with men or with women. It's like how much skin you show or it's not. Like here, you don't even care. It's not even, there's nothing. You're not even thinking about it. There's no sexuality associated with the fact that you're wearing shorts or whatever. It doesn't matter. But nonetheless, we associate it with that. There, I'm walking down the street and all I see on a woman are her eyes. And I'm just like, oh, whoa, like, okay, hang on. And so the government, what was happening was that women in Saudi were doing so many things with their eyes that was just like, nah, you're missing the modesty piece. You're actually being sexual with just this little part of your body. And so the government put this decree out to say, stop, you can't do that anymore. And if you didn't experience it, you wouldn't know what that really means. But me as a man who actually did experience it is like, whoa, I see what they're talking about. Like just the eyes, right? Okay, so listen, we're going to do one quick thing. You have some scarves, right? Do you have scarves? You have some? How many do you have?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, do you have 2? Yeah. Can we put a couple scarves on? Do you have any?
Yeah.
No, wait, right?
You asked me to.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have a couple also? Okay, wait, hang on. We're going to put do you want to wear a scarf? A hijab? You cool? All right, man. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Let's put it on. Yeah. Dude, and by the way, can you do that? And we're going to do one other thing. Mr. Omani, dude, bro, you're Saudi, right? Kuwaiti? Can you put this on some guy? Dude, I need a guy. Who wants to put this on? It would look good on this guy? All right, dudes, hop up. Go ahead.
Should I put on? Sure. By the way, they wear this with there are different styles of wearing.
Okay, hang on.
Should I?
There are different styles.
There's like the Egyptian, just like straight up.
Bro, can you say what this is, by the way?
This is the ghitra. It has many names. Ghitra,
Yeah.
It's just a piece of cloth that you put on your head. It's like
Here, step right out here, though. Okay, dude, you got to take your hat off.
I feel like I've seen you before. You hang out in the past ever? No, I hung out in college.
Dude, you look great, dog. You're killing it. Hang on, we're coming after you. Yo, you look good. Dude, can you get a close-up of her? Yo, okay, listen. How do you feel?
I mean, I've done this before. I went to a mosque before where they were like, you need to cover your head, so I covered my head.
How do you feel?
I feel like normal. It's just another piece of clothing in a different area.
Yeah? How do you feel? What's it?
I mean, it's like really nice material, so it's kind of soft.
It is really
Yeah?
It's comfy. I don't know. I don't feel any different. Honestly, like when I've had long hair, it feels kind of similar. So.
Yeah? How about you?
Warm.
Wait, hang on. Can you get a shot of her close up? Can you stand? Come. Okay.
I feel warm because I was kind of cold.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just kind of feel, I don't know, like I feel like safe, like I have like more clothing on and like.
You feel safe?
Yeah, it's like it's almost like it's a strange feeling. It's just like you're kind of covered and
Like
not
more
as,
inward.
You're not as exposed.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Not as exposed. How about you, man?
Okay, don't laugh. I feel like a famous person hot in front of paparazzi. That is exactly how I
Dude.
feel right now, like for real.
You mean not like a hoe?
Not
right?
like a hoe. There you go.
right.
Not like a
This
hoe.
is big. You changed from a hoe to a famous hoe. You know what I mean? God, it's amazing. Dude, I like that.
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
good. I like
Yeah, I
that.
got it.
All right.
I got bundles.
Dude, okay, hang on, bro. You got to come back up. All right, and how about, can you pass the mic? Alexa.
It doesn't really feel that much different. I don't know.
You look, though, different. Look like your whole body is covered, right?
Yeah, sort of.
And kind of, yeah, not entirely.
Now it is.
Okay, now it is. Okay, how about now? Imagine walking around today with that on. No, imagine walking around today with that on. Just walk back and forth. How would it be different than with your, with your body, with your upper body really exposed? Just asking you. There's nothing. Talking to the mic. How do you think you'd be different?
You can just kind of feel like a little bit more comfortable. It's almost like you're wearing like a big comfy sweater or something. You can just kind of be more like relaxed.
A little more comfortable? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, actually, it kind of makes me think a little bit less about, it's weird, like it makes me think less about what I look like and like, because I mean, you have a scarf, like you don't have to worry about your hair, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see how it's like, it could like give you a different perspective because you're not like worried so much about yourself and you're like able to look out into the world and without as much worry, I guess.
Oh my God.
What?
Dude, that's so cool. No, hang on. Dude, hang on, listen. Y'all, look, you ready, everybody? Dude, and this guy, dude, look at you. Hang on, we're gonna come back. Hold tight, bro, hold tight. Right. Dude, you got like a nice bundle. Look, hang on. You ready, y'all? Come here. Look, see these women right here, okay? See these women right here. I'm gonna proverbially put my arms around them, okay? I'll touch this one here because I can, but the other ones I can't. Look, what she just said, say what you just said again.
I think less about what I look like and I worry less, and it's like it opens up a door to see the world with, I don't know, less concern or less fear.
Dude, so imagine that. Instead of seeing them as oppressed, you're actually seeing them as women on this campus who are walking across campus with less fear and less concern about what other people are thinking about them. Instead of being oppressed, they're actually elevated. It's like they're walking and they're empowered, walking across the campus like this. Not like this, big. Like, not worried about what other people are thinking, but being in their own skin. And that's what you said, and that's what you said. Fuck. Yo, dude, do you see the flip? This is what this class is about. Flip it around. And you're not oppressed. Like, you're not oppressed, right? Because so you're wearing essentially like a tube top kind of thing. But that doesn't make, you're not oppressed, whatever. It's not that. But it's like, look, see them differently. An opportunity to see the world differently. Shit. Bro, dude, can you come here a second? Saudi dude, can you come here? How come you don't wear this at Penn State? Because this is what you wear. Not this, because that's not from Saudi. But
Okay. Wait, what do you want me to explain?
yeah, explain it.
Okay, so this is called the ghitra, and this is called the igal. And you need another thing called the gahfiya, which is under it.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
Yeah, I have it at home, but
Yeah. We wear this usually like in my country, in the UAE, we wear, so the younger people, they wear only this, and we wrap it around our head, similar to the Omanis.
Yeah.
And this is worn usually by our fathers, like in formal places, like jobs.
So are you
and even outside.
Do you live in Dubai or Abu Dhabi? Or?
Abu Dhabi, yeah.
And so do you wear this at home?
At home, no, we don't wear this at home.
Not at home, but I mean, do you wear it in Abu Dhabi?
I wear this, but I don't wear it with this. Just this, and then I wrap it on my. And sometimes in some celebrations, like similar to Christmas, I wear the whole thing.
And you wear a thobe?
Yeah.
You call it a thobe in Abu Dhabi?
We call it kandora.
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 Yeah, kandora.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen. Dude, you look awesome, bro. It's like a do-rag, dude. It's a big do-rag. Yeah. Hey, listen, for you all, Thank you. Thanks for participating. And
I just want
yeah,
to add
wait.
something.
Wait. One final comment.
As Sarah said, wearing a hijab, that doesn't mean that I don't have any sense, and this doesn't prevent me to enjoy my life. Like, yeah, I can do anything I want. That doesn't, or my hijab doesn't prevent me from doing anything.
Dude.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you.